Now, complaints about poor service delivery by electricity distribution companies, DISCOs, are the highest category of complaints received by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, that's the FCCPC, in the last 7 months. Abdullahi, the acting executive vice chairman of the Consumer Protection Watchdog, in an engagement with the media here in Abuja, said exploitative billing, unlawful disconnection, non-metering of customers are the most common of complaints. Abdullahi said in this period, addressing the concerns about alleged discriminatory practices in a Chinese supermarket, prompt action against the sale of underweight bags of rice and expired goods were other areas investigated, stating the government's commitment to safeguarding consumers. He also says FCCPC's recent award of a $220 million fine against U.S. tech giant Meta, owners of WhatsApp, Facebook, for violation of data protection and consumer rights was a product of thorough investigation by the Commission.
We began this investigation and in the process found out that, one, when you register for the first time, you want to join WhatsApp, there's already a pretty column there that says you have agreed for your data to be shared for market research and what? Education purposes and market research, something of that nature. And that is already critiqued as opposed to other climes such as Europe, where you have the choice of saying yes or no. So that is discriminatory in the first instance. We didn't agree with that. Secondly, we found out that they shared our data across platforms. So these are the issues that were at stake. A report, 116-page report, was made on all the findings that were done on that. That report is currently on our platform.
I'm joined now by Acting Executive Vice Chairman of the FCCPC, Dr. Abdullahi. Good to see you and thanks for your time.
Thanks, Suleiman. Always a pleasure being here.
Same here. You know, really now some of those, going back in time and perhaps playing catch up to some of the key things you've worked on. I recall you've been here when we had the Chinese supermarket. You've also been here when we had the bags of rice and commodities. But again, this big one is a place to start off. WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, owned by Meta, and that document, which is also out there on your site. And take us through, perhaps it's over 100-page report. The summary of that report would mean what?
Summary, in essence, is that around May 2021, it was brought to the notice of the FCCPC that the WhatsApp have updated their privacy policy. And what they did in that is that there is now a predict column that says you have to agree that your data is going to be used for marketing and research purposes. In other climes, especially in the EU, that is not predict. You have the choice of either agreeing to your data being used for such purposes or not. So why are they discriminating against us? Point number one. Point number two, they are using our data across borders in the sense that Nigerian data belongs to Nigeria. Why are you using it in Europe? Why are you using it in the Americas? Why is it stored elsewhere? That is number two. Number three is the fact that abuse of their dominant position, in that WhatsApp is like the only provider of such a service. So you either are on WhatsApp, or if you don't want WhatsApp service, you don't have any other that you can go to. Facebook is not the same, Instagram is not the same. WhatsApp is in a class of its own. Therefore, we believe that there is an abuse of dominance there, in that is they know that there is nothing you can do, that's why they're doing what they're doing. So essentially, these are the major findings, and this is what led to the fact that we now made this sanction only day before of $220 million, in addition to cost of investigation reimbursement of $35 million, and the fact that they have to cease and desist from these practices. They have already made that option available to us. They have told us that they are ready to now give Nigerians that option of deciding whether you agree for your data to be used for such purposes or not.
I know I'll come back to how we arrived at this, fine, because listening to you is a shock, to many Nigerians that this had started since 2021, without we knowing, you just on the platform, not knowing that whether you like it or not, you've already agreed to your data being shared. During the course of investigation, did your team engage Meta executives?
A lot of times, but then more importantly, the investigation really started with NIDDA, in collaboration with NIDDA, the Information Technology Development Agency then. But then there is this Data Protection Commission that was carved out of NIDDA in 2023. So now we continued our work together with NDPR. So the laws that we even used to arrive at this sanction is the laws of the two agencies really. And we have to give it to the Chief Executive of the Data Protection Commission for the fact that from day one of his appointment, one of the first places he visited was FCCPC. He recognized the fact that we have to collaborate, we have to work together. And we have worked together, and this is a major thing that is being hailed world over. Because if you have been following the news, this is something that all these social media platforms have been found wanting in all the climes, in Asia, in the Americas, in Europe recently, and a €1 billion fine recently slammed on one of them. So this is something that for the first time is coming out of an African state. And all the African states are hailing us for standing up to what we are supposed to do and doing the right thing. And there is always a learning curve because we always engage in national conferences, seminars, things, and we share experiences. And we believe that this is just the beginning. Other clients will also now find out that there are some things that are going on with that data. There is nothing more expensive than data nowadays in this world. It's more important than even the petroleum that we think is very expensive.
Tell us about the dangers of what has been playing out since 2021.
Okay, you are on WhatsApp, and you and your friend always discuss shoes, as an example, right? That shoe I saw in that place was nice, this one was so nice, and things like that. Before you know it, you start seeing, if you're on Facebook, you start seeing shoe adverts on Facebook. How does Facebook know that you are interested in shoes? It's because your data has been shared, because Facebook and WhatsApp are now the meta parties, so to speak, and they tend to exchange your data among them without your consent. This personal data belongs to you. Yes, there is some data that is for public consumption, but not all data. Some of the data you have is personal to you. And they have to have your consent before they can use your personal data. And that's what they don't have.
In this case, we're looking at the amount. I was going to ask how we arrived at $220 million.
As I told you, we used both acts. The act establishing the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, the Act of 2023, as well as the FCCPA, that's our own act of 2018. These are sanctions that are listed there to be meted out to erring companies when they engage in such practices. It's really a percentage of their gross earnings. And in such a case, we're talking of a company that is worldwide. So the fight has been, should the fine just apply to the Nigerian context, which is the kind of money they make in Nigeria only, or should it be worldwide? And in the long run, we agree that it must go worldwide because of the fact that, as I told you earlier, this is being shared worldwide. The storing of the data is done outside of Nigerian shores. So it's something that we looked at the laws and arrived at that data, that sanction. It didn't come out from the blues.
And going forward, what's the partnership like between the government and agencies in Nigeria and Meta?
I don't think Nigerian government has done anything wrong, because the last meeting, as I started saying earlier with Meta that we had, they came up with some mitigating factors. They came up to show that really there are some infractions, and they are ready to do the needful in addressing these infractions. So essentially, life continues, and it's just a matter of taking a wee bit of their earnings. What is $220 million to a place such as that? But then, more importantly, we are not really after the monetary value of this thing. What we are really after is that bad behavior must have consequences. That is what we are after. In as much as we punish bad behavior, then we have achieved what we want to achieve. And the fact that we are punishing, at the same time they are doing the right thing, at the same time our government is also making money out of it, makes a lot of sense. A WhatsApp user asked on our platform, the FCC platform, to be on the latter note now, that yes, you have fined them $220 million. How much of that is coming to me is my data that was infringed upon. So, in essence, what we are saying is that this is the Nigerian government defending Nigerians. So it's on behalf of the Nigerian government that we are now sanctioning the Meta parties. And whatever it is that we get, of course, government takes 50%, as is the law now. And 50% goes towards running the organization and doing more to ensure, once more, the right thing is done and bad behavior is punished and has consequences.
Dr. Abdullahi, fine place for us to say many thanks for being such nice company. I do hope to see you again so that we can talk more about the telcos and the discos.
This is new. Yeah, always welcome.
All right, okay, thank you as always. Well.